Progressive overload works best when patience guides every increase in training stress. Many athletes chase faster gains, then accidentally build fatigue faster than fitness. Sustainable progress means giving muscles, joints, and nerves time to adapt. Overload is not just adding weight to the bar every session. It can mean more reps, more sets, better control, or improved technique. The smartest lifters progress gradually enough to recover and repeat success. That is how training becomes a staircase, not a roller coaster. To optimize overload, first understand what the body actually adapts to. Muscles respond to tension, effort, volume, and the consistency of exposure. Connective tissues adapt too, but they usually do so more slowly. That slower timetable is why reckless progress often causes nagging pain. Your nervous system also feels heavy lifting, hard sets, and poor sleep. So sustainable overload respects muscles, tendons, technique, and recovery capacity together. The first rule is earning progression before demanding more from yourself. If your last week looks sloppy, this week should not jump ahead. Clean repetitions are signals that your current workload is becoming manageable. When control improves, that often means you are ready for progression. When technique worsens, that usually means recovery or load management needs attention. Progressive overload should feel challenging, not chaotic, painful, or wildly inconsistent. A simple framework begins with choosing a clear repetition range. For example, you might target 6 to 10 reps per set. You keep the weight steady until all sets reach the top. Then you increase the load slightly and repeat the process again. This method is called double progression, and it is wonderfully dependable. It prevents premature jumps while still creating measurable forward momentum. Small jumps are often the secret to big long-term results. Adding 1 kilogram can be smarter than forcing 5 kilograms. The ego dislikes small plates, but the joints usually adore them. Microloading is especially useful for upper body lifts and advanced trainees. As you improve, each extra percent becomes harder to earn. That means your strategy must become more precise, not more aggressive. Another sustainable tool is increasing repetitions before adding another hard set. More sets raise fatigue quickly, especially for compound movements. Extra reps are often easier to recover from than extra sets. That makes rep progression a gentle bridge between training phases. Tempo can also progress, though it should not become random punishment. A slower eccentric improves control, tension, and awareness of weak positions. Pauses at the bottom can strengthen stability and technical confidence. But tempo changes should support your goal, not replace sound loading. Range of motion is another overlooked form of progressive overload. Moving better through safe ranges can increase stimulus without heavier weight. A deeper split squat may challenge tissues more than reckless loading. Still, greater range should arrive with control, not collapsing under pressure. The next principle is managing proximity to failure intelligently. Every set does not need to become an all-out survival documentary. Leaving 1 to 3 reps in reserve is often productive. It provides strong stimulus while reducing unnecessary fatigue accumulation. Training to failure has a place, but not everywhere, always. Isolation lifts tolerate failure better than heavy barbell compounds. Grinding deadlifts too often can tax recovery more than build muscle. Sustainable overload balances effort with repeatability across the training week. You should finish most sessions feeling worked, not completely wrecked. Being destroyed is not evidence that the program is effective. It may simply mean the dose exceeded your current recovery abilities. Volume is one of the strongest drivers of muscular adaptation, yet volume only helps when it remains recoverable over many weeks. Start with the minimum effective dose that produces reliable progress. Then add work only when the current dose stops moving results. This protects you from solving every problem by adding more exercises. Often the answer is better execution, not more total workload. Tracking is essential because memory is an unreliable gym companion. Write down loads, reps, sets, rest periods, and perceived exertion. Patterns become visible when the data stops hiding in your head. You can then see whether progress is climbing, stalling, or backsliding. Good records also separate emotional frustration from actual performance trends. Some weeks feel terrible while objective output remains perfectly acceptable. Other weeks feel heroic while numbers quietly reveal accumulating fatigue. Progress needs feedback, and feedback needs something measurable. Recovery habits are the soil where progressive overload either grows or dies. Sleep is the loudest recovery variable for performance and adaptation. Poor sleep raises perceived effort and reduces force production. It also affects coordination, motivation, appetite, and tissue recovery. Protein supports muscle repair, while carbohydrates help fuel hard training. Hydration matters too, especially when training volume or heat increases. You cannot separate sustainable overload from basic recovery discipline. Deloads are not signs of weakness. They are strategic maintenance. A deload reduces fatigue so fitness can finally show itself. That may mean fewer sets, lighter loads, or lower exertion. Think of deloads as sharpening the axe, not abandoning the forest. Many plateaus are simply unresolved fatigue wearing a progress costume. If aches rise and performance falls, listen before pushing harder. Soreness alone is not a reliable marker of productive training. Joint discomfort, however, deserves more respect than ordinary muscle fatigue. Pain that alters movement should trigger adjustment, not stubborn bravery. Sometimes the right overload is improving exercise selection for your structure. A lift that irritates you consistently may need modification. Dumbbells, cables, machine angles, or grip changes can preserve stimulus. The body loves challenge, but not every challenge is equally useful. Technique consistency determines whether overload targets muscles or compensations. If each repetition looks different, progress becomes hard to interpret. Standardize setup, tempo, and range before judging whether numbers improved. This makes your data cleaner and your progression more honest. Another key is aligning overload with your actual training goal. Strength-focused training progresses differently from hypertrophy-focused training. Strength often prioritizes load, specificity, and longer rest periods. Hypertrophy can progress through reps, volume, control, and exercise variety. Athletic training must also consider speed, power, and skill practice. Too much fatigue can interfere with explosiveness and movement quality. So sustainable overload always serves the priority, not the ego. Beginners usually progress quickly because almost everything is a new stimulus. That does not mean they should advance recklessly just because they can. Novices benefit most from mastering technique and practicing frequent, quality repetitions. Intermediate lifters need more structure because adaptation comes less freely. Advanced athletes often rely on tiny improvements repeated over long periods. The more trained you are, the more precision matters. Lifestyle stress changes how much overload you can actually tolerate. Hard jobs, poor sleep, exams, and travel all tax recovery resources. Programs should fit life, not pretend life does not exist. This is why flexible progression beats rigid expectations for many people. On strong days, you can push toward the top range confidently. On difficult days, you maintain quality and preserve future momentum. Autoregulation helps keep progress alive when readiness fluctuates. Readiness can be estimated through performance, exertion, mood, and bar speed. It does not need to be fancy to be useful. Even honest self-awareness can prevent many unnecessary setbacks. Exercise order also influences how overload feels and accumulates. Early exercises get your freshest effort and most stable output. Place high skill or high priority lifts earlier in the session. Use later accessories to add stimulus without overwhelming technical demands. This keeps quality high where it matters most. Rest periods deserve attention because rushed recovery distorts real performance. If rest becomes shorter, accidentally, the session may feel harder. But harder does not always mean better for your intended adaptation. Standardized rest helps you compare weeks with greater accuracy. Consistency is the quiet hero behind nearly every impressive transformation. The best program is usually the one you can execute well. Fancy complexity often loses to boring competence repeated for months. Think in blocks of training, not isolated heroic workouts. Ask whether today's decision supports progress 4 weeks from now. That question alone can prevent many impulsive loading mistakes. A sustainable mindset treats training as skillful exposure, not endless punishment. You are teaching the body what to handle, then slightly more. That teaching process requires repetition, feedback, and restraint. The goal is adaptation you can keep, not intensity you survive. So optimize overload by progressing only when performance earns the privilege. Use small increases, track honestly, and protect technical consistency. Manage effort with intention instead of constantly chasing exhaustion. Support training with sleep, nutrition, hydration, and stress management. Deload before breakdown and adjust exercises before irritation becomes injury. Remember that progress is built from recoverable challenges repeated consistently. Like a wise turtle, move steadily enough to arrive stronger. Fast bursts impress the gym floor, but patience impresses physiology. The strongest long-term athletes respect what adaptation actually costs. They understand that sustainable overload is both science and discipline. So next session, do not ask how much pain you can tolerate. Ask how much quality work you can recover from productively. That answer leads to better gains, fewer setbacks, and longer careers. In training, slow and steady is not boring, it is strategic. Optimize progressive overload sustainably, and your future self will thank you. Now train intelligently, recover seriously, and let consistency do its magic.